roadmap for the extraction of rare earth minerals to be completed by December the 1st. The directive, issued following a Far Eastern Economic Forum in Vladivostok, also calls for the development of transport links and logistics centres along Russia's borders with China and North Korea. These plans include 2 existing railway bridges to China and a new bridge to North Korea, which is expected to be operational by 2026. Russia has expressed interest in partnering with the United States on rare earth projects, though progress has been limited due to the ongoing conflict in Ukraine. Meanwhile, China has imposed export restrictions in response to US tariffs this year. However, they have now resumed those restrictions. Okay, of course, we are talking about these ongoing talks between the United States and Moscow. The Russian president has ordered the government to prepare this roadmap for the extraction of rare earth minerals to be completed by December the 1st. Of course, China, a hugely dominant force in the rare earth world. Russia has expressed interest in partnering with the United States on rare earth projects, though progress has been limited due to the ongoing conflict in Ukraine. And of course, China imposed export restrictions in response to the US tariffs, but those have now been dropped after that hugely significant meeting with US President Donald Trump and Chinese President Xi Jinping in South Korea just last week on the sidelines of the APEC summit. We both saw the 2 world's largest economies come to some sort of temporary trade truce in their years-long lasting trade war. Okay, we are now joined by Keith Vaz. He's a former UK minister and he joins us live from Goa in India. Keith, thank you for joining us here on the programme. It's a pleasure to have you as always. Keith, Moscow is now drafting a roadmap to boost its own rare earth production. Is Russia trying to fill a gap created by China's export restrictions or just hedging against future sanctions?
Good evening, Thomas. I think they're trying to do both. They want to make sure that they are self-sufficient. They are a vast country. I was looking at the map of the world just before this interview, and I'm sure everyone is completely surprised at the size of Russia. I would be amazed if they didn't have more rare earth materials and minerals within their own country. The reason why they get it from China is because it's probably cheaper for them. In the long run, though, they have to become self-sufficient. And it could be about the possibility of sanctions being levied against China, but it also could be this drives for self-sufficiency. And that is, I think, what they're probably going to do. Because if they don't, then they are going to be held hostage, if you like, by other countries and other powers. And even though they formed a stronger relationship with China since the start of the Trump administration, it is very clear that they will be shaking hands in a very diplomatic way. They're not buddies. So it is not a surprise to me that they've decided to do this.
And Keith, this directive also calls for the development of transport links and logistics hubs along Russia's borders with China and also North Korea, with existing railway bridges that are now disused once again being used again, and a new bridge being built to North Korea, which is expected to be operational by 2026. How might this influence this trade relationship going forward, particularly with Pyongyang involved?
Well, I think that it is important to ensure that at this minute, that instability in the trading relations between countries is quite profound. And therefore, I think it is important that they look at these trade relationships and trade links and try to develop them, because they don't actually know what's going to happen one day after another. So I'm not surprised if there is a stronger relationship being developed, and it is a relationship that is obviously to be treated with some degree of caution, knowing exactly who they're dealing with. But they're going to have to deal with anyone now, and they've always, to some extent, had reasonably good relationships with Pyongyang, and therefore it's not going to be a problem for them.
Okay, Keith, do